Hi, this is Craig. Who are two geniuses whose creation we all take for granted? Orville, and Wilbur. Right, Wilbur's over there. They're no close relation to me, unfortunately. Even if you have never flown, if you don't like to fly due to delays, baggage getting lost, small seats, indirect flights, if you live in Tulsa, you know what that's all about. Flying still affects you. Many items that you buy have flown, whether it's a pair of shoes, seafood, fresh seafood, etc. Some things come by air. People in government fly, businessmen and businesswomen fly, a lot of athletes fly. Air travel around the world is important. It's something that we take for granted. We can also often see planes fly overhead and have done so all of our lives. When the Wright Brothers told of their first flight on December 17th, 1903, the American government ignored them for a few years because they had invested money in another person's effort to fly, but it kept failing. It wasn't until Wilbur sailed to France with a Wright Flyer, one of their airplanes, and put on demonstrations in Le Mans and Pau, France, that he became a sensation around the world. The kings of France, England, and Spain came to watch these demonstrations, as did other aviation pioneers, scientists, and tens of thousands of regular citizens. As word spread, when Orville went to demonstrate another flyer at an airfield near Arlington, Virginia, pardon me, the Wrights gained credibility. It is estimated that in Wilbur's flights around New York City and New Jersey in 1909, 1 million people were watching from the tops of skyscrapers and in the windows and along the banks of the Hudson River. Before that, when both brothers and their sister Katherine Wright were in Europe, they were huge celebrities. People flocked around them nearly like they did Michael Jordan and the Dream Team during the 1992 Olympics. And with due cause, they had changed the world forever. Orville and Wilbur were absolute geniuses. Neither men graduated high school. They made the most of their money building, selling, and repairing bicycles until about 5 years after their first flight. They also made a small wind tunnel to be able to figure out how wind would affect the shape of the wings that they were trying to develop that no one else could figure out. And they progressed to make bigger and bigger gliders and then airplanes, finally, that a man could ride on and held the weight of an engine, and sooner or later also a second person could ride on. As a testament to their achievement, Neil Armstrong took a patch from the original Wright Flyer with him when he went to the moon in 1969. There's currently nothing we can compare with watching the first powered flights to. It was truly a turning point in history. Even though watching someone now in water-powered packs, jet packs, or flying cars can be intriguing, the concept was invented over 100 years ago. It has been done. When they were putting on demonstrations in France, a famous French aviation person was trying to figure out how to fly. He said, "They've beaten us. We are done. We mean nothing now because the Wrights beat us." If someone these days invented a time machine or something that could teleport a person from one place to another, that would be amazing and something to marvel at, but we still would not see the person in transit like in the first airplanes. Here's my notes here. The gracefulness and defying of gravity would not be present if we watched somebody else doing those things. Maybe the only thing we could come close to would be to watch an F-22 Raptor at an air show, because they can move like no other jet, and still the takeoff, the landing, normal banking, and level flight is already normal to us. So all of us alive, we missed seeing the first airplanes turning around for the next revolution, the next evolution in travel. In terms of flight, like so many other things, America was first. David McCullough wrote a book called The Wright Brothers, which does a good job with their autobiography. My hand out of the way there, David McCullough. He does go into a bit too much detail, describing the paint on their porch sometimes in Dayton, Ohio, or what they ate for certain meals. But he does a fantastic job describing how they figured things out and their journeys to Europe. When they were not flying, they were visiting museums and the like. And they were admiring the architecture throughout Paris and Italy and figuring out how the other inventors had figured those things out. So I will post a link to a short video about this book's author on these famous Wrights. So next time you see an airplane, just imagine 125 years ago, nobody saw such things. They might have seen a dirigible in the air, a big old blimp like the Goodyear blimp, but nothing that could bank, turn, do figure eights, and just break the free from the bonds of earth. So until next time, Godspeed on your meeting your goals in life, and God bless America.